Welcome to another episode of the State of the Bulldogs. Sam, Mike, Jeb, and Grant. Boys, back from the holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Hope everyone enjoyed our talk with A.D. Martin Newton. Always a good time. That guy has so many stories. I wish, honestly, he might need to write a book. But Grant, Mike, how we doing?
Good to be in 2026.
Feels weird, right? 2026.
1-1.
Further away from.
It's not what we were expecting at this point in the season, though.
No, but at least we didn't lose to VMI. Shout out to our brethren in Chattanooga.
Yeah, not every day you can go on a 28-4 run to win a game like we did at VMI.
It's okay. Would
have been nice at UNCG, but alas.
Yeah, it's turned so quickly. But yeah, basketball starts off 1-1 in conference play. That's going to be the main focal point of tonight's conversation. But I don't know. I think the theme going into the conference slate was this team could be good. I think the theme coming out the last two games is this team could be good. But we'll see. ETSU seems to be really the only team, maybe Western, who's really turning it on. But before we get into basketball, because we'll talk about the loss to UNCG and the win against VMI, did want to give a shout out. Late breaking football news: Jake Garner was named fourth team All-American freshman place kicker. I don't know. We don't know how many freshman place kickers there are in the FCS, but nonetheless, still pretty cool. So yeah,
there's
Jake Garner, 4 freshman All-American. There's at least four. All right, boys, but let's get to basketball. Let's just jump into it. We beat VMI, start off conference play 1-0. Grant, as you said, awesome run to make it a much more comfortable victory. It was a little hairy in the first half, but look, if Faulkner or Booth want to win Player of the Year in the conference, they can, because they are the two horses that make this thing go. But what you guys see?
Yeah, kind of a slow start. I mean, you kind of expected that coming out of the break, and just your first game, you have to spend New Year's Day in Lexington, Virginia, of all places. I wouldn't want to do that.
It was on the road.
Anyways.
Right.
Yeah, on the road. So you're there before the cadets get back. But yeah, VMI was 5 of 14 from 3 in the first half. They were worse in the second half, obviously 2 of 18, which kind of helped Samford get back in it a little bit. So it was kind of a slow start. Yeah, defensively will be the main theme that we've talked about over non-conference play, and we'll continue to talk about, especially what happened at UNCG, the amount of stops Samford couldn't get. But yeah, VMI first half, a little bit of slow start. Guys getting going. Jaden only had, I think, like 5 points at halftime, then exploded. Finished with 19, 4 threes, 4 boards, 3 assists. Yeah, just took a kind of a slow turn and then kind of found a way to get done with that. Had that 24-0 run where Andrew Wilson, VMI's head coach, had to call 2 timeouts within that run. He goes, okay, guys, we need to stop. We can't be doing this. And so Samford ended up winning by 20. But
yeah, we were 5 for 15 from 3 in the first half. That's kind of along with the theme of poor defense, the inconsistency at 3, inconsistency on the free throw line. Like, I don't know. This team needs to get that into gear.
I don't know. We can call it inconsistency at the free throw line. I think we just suck at the free throw line.
Fair. That's fair. I was being a little generous there.
That's no, but you're right. I mean, against VMI, we got the line 27 times. 27 times. And shots 59%. That's unacceptable.
It's so bad.
I hate to pinpoint a single individual, but Dylan Faulkner is going to get to the line more than maybe anybody in the league. And he's got to be consistent. I mean, he's had a couple of games where he's improved, but if he's going to go to the line as much as he does, it's just something you got to work on.
Yeah, imagine if he was a good free throw shooter. He'd be averaging 30-something points a game.
Yeah, to that point, Faulkner, according to KidPalm, is 7th in the country when it comes to fouls drawn per 40 minutes. Like, he gets to the line. It's just a matter of, can we
But how much of that,
once we get to the line?
Yeah.
How much of that is teams knowing he can't really shoot a free throw? And it's like, hey, we'd rather have this guy shoot 2 as opposed to get us with 1.
He was 58% from the free throw line in this game. So only 1 percentage worse than Samford as a team. So maybe it's not only his fault.
No, but he was the majority. I mean, Zion was 1 for 4. That's not good. But
yeah, that might be a trend as we get deeper and deeper to conference play. When the games get tighter, teams start to play a little bit better. Maybe you can kind of go to a Hackadillon if you want to go that route. But
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know if it was the difference maker in the UNCG game. Obviously, it would have been nice if we'd had those points, but it wasn't like we shot the free throw well in that game either. But we did in the second half in VMI shooting the 3 ball 55% in the second half, which is much better. So the efficiency there seems to be a little more hope. But the defense, boys, the defense. I mean, we only let them score 58, but what was UNCG? 86, 88?
89, yeah.
89, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, they finished 47% from the floor, 5 of 8 from 3 in the first half, good Lord, and then 6 of 8 from 3 in the second half, which is, Justin Ely, their leading guy, 22 points, 14 boards. I mean, Samford was in it. It's just the amount of, again, stops. So if you score 82 points on the road, you expect to come out with a victory for the most part, unless we've seen is Samford teams in the past kind of have that kind of MO. We could score a lot, but give up a lot.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We lose by 7 points, 89-82, but our two best players, Jaden Booth, Dylan Faulkner, go off for 26 and 25. Like, that should be enough. Going back to Mike, your point at the beginning of the season, who's the third scorer? You know, the third leading scorer in that game was Keaton Norris at 14. That's okay, but you go literally one more guy down as at 4 points, and that's Cade Norris. You need a few more guys hanging around the 10-point mark.
It's
6. Jackson Pollard 6.
It's frustrating because we see the flashes from individuals, like with Isaiah Campbell Finch. He came in off the bench against UNCG and had 4 points, maybe even on consecutive possessions in the first half, but he finished the game with 4 points. So, like, you see him, he's the one guy on our team that can really go downhill and finish, finish at the rim, at least from the guard play. But you can't do that twice in a game. We need him to be scoring 8 to 12 points a game, probably. And he's definitely good enough, but I don't know if it's just him being inconsistent or if him not having the confidence to try to play his game for a full 40 minutes or what. But he's one of those guys that I think needs to be more consistent.
Yeah, and it wasn't like we turned the ball over that much. 6 turnovers against UNCG. Like, you would think, okay, if guys aren't scoring, maybe we're turning it over. Maybe the offense isn't in rhythm, and that just wasn't the case. We just weren't making shots. Missed 10 free throws, 14 for 24 from the line. 9 of those were Faulkner. But shooting 10 for 30 from 3 is not bad, but when you're for a team like us, it is bad. When we're built to score from 3, that feels like that needs to be closer to 40.
Closer to 40, yeah.
Because, I mean, that's the thing. It's a 7-point game. If a few different things here, a few shots go in, a few more free throws go in, and it's a win. And I think that we may be having this conversation a few different times this season where it's going to be a tight game. It feels like, especially, we'll go through the results of the conference so far, but it feels like it's anyone's conference with the exception of maybe VMI and Citadel, though VMI did beat UTC. And it's like you're going to have to make a decent amount of threes, and you're going to have to make your dadgum free throws. And if you don't, you're going to lose. And we're not 1 for 1 there. So,
even going 10 to 30 from 3 is acceptable too, right? If you don't go 14 to 24 from the free throw line, like
exactly,
games,
exactly.
But there's
you can't have
easy math you can do there. But again, it's like, oh gosh, if it's a late game, close game, a couple possession, and teams are fouling, just hope to God you get Jaden Booth the ball because he's the only free throw shooter you really trust at that moment.
Because there will be a game where we turn it over more than 6 times. And it's like, are we going to be able to recover from that? And then on the flip side, our defense only forced 2 turnovers, which is also not sustainable. But we know the defense is a weak point. So, I don't know. Would you focus more on improving threes, improving the 3, or improving your defense? Maybe the low-hanging fruit is improving the defense because defense feels more like an effort and discipline.
I do think with UNCG, I mean, we were down 15, I think, in the first half, and a lot of that was because we could not foul UNCG anytime they drove the rim. And so they got to the free throw line consistently in the first half, hit their free throws, and then weren't missing from 3. So I just think if you can limit the fouls, anytime somebody drives the basket, you use a foul, make the line. So play better defense in that scenario, and you're not down 15. You're not working from behind the rest of the game. We probably win that.
I mean, yeah. Justin Ely goes 8 for 10 from the line, and then Noah Norgard goes 5 for 6 from 3. That's tough.
Almost 3/4 through the game, someone sent me that UNCG was scoring almost 1.5 points per possession, and that's just not going to cut it on the road, especially in a situation. Heck, even at home, it's not going to work, but especially on the road, it's kind of highlighted a little bit. But again, it goes back to the defense and free throw shooting, really the two easiest things you can fall back on.
I mean, what y'all think about our athleticism versus UNCG's athleticism?
UNCG isn't particularly long, which kind of helps Samford because they're not particularly long either when it comes. I mean, they're bigger than we've seen in the past couple of years under Bucky, but again, that comes down with the caveat of Humphrey tearing his Achilles in the opener, right? He was going to kind of be that guy to provide a little more length, a more strong defensively. But yeah, I think Samford really matched up pretty well. There will be stronger teams when it comes further down the league, so we'll see how that kind of progresses. But teams, as Mike kind of mentioned, we're kind of hunting Campbell Finch to make sure that we can get him down low, and then he'll either foul you can score on him. So, I mean, there's certain matchups that teams are already taking advantage of.
Yeah, in the first two games, at least in the SoCon, I don't really feel like our athleticism has been like a glaring concern. There were certainly some games in the non-conference schedule, aside from like the Arkansas, right, where we were outmatched. But a couple of those games where I felt like the other team was exponentially more athletic than us, and we managed to hang in there. So, I think that this team has the pieces to play with anybody, especially in the SoCon, even if they're the least athletic team on the floor, or the lesser athletic team on the floor at the time. I think they can be disciplined enough and have the right pieces to contest against the more athletic opponent like ETSU whenever we play them.
Yeah, and
go ahead, Grant.
Same thing. That's why kind of Zion was inserted the starting lineup too. Add a little bit of length. If he just added any more kind of offense, you can kind of put him out there a little bit longer for defensive. He's a big defensive help. Lenny says a big reason why Samford won the Cornell game was he was attacking, play defense, was scoring the ball in that one. Only 1 point against UNCG, 5 boards. I mean, he would add that at the length. Again, it's just the offense. He only played 13 minutes, even though he started. So it's just a matter of, again, can we get a little bit? He scored in the Arkansas game 15 points, which is why he was out there a lot more. So we kind of get a little bit more from him offensively. He'll be out there more, help Samford defensively against these bigger teams.
Yeah, I mean, I knew VMI was not going to necessarily look very good against us. They did in the first half a little bit, but it was nice that UNCG, it felt like a SoCon game, right? Like we didn't feel like we were out of place necessarily, which is good. I'll just go through the results here, but ETSU seems to be the only team that's kind of scary. And I know Wofford has that transfer that is just unstoppable from deep right now. But in terms of in-conference results so far, ETSU kicked it off, beating Citadel 74-49. Furman beat Mercer 74-72. Wofford over Western 79-74. Samford obviously over VMI 78-58. And then UNCG over UTC 77-72. Take two. So everybody's second game, UNCG beats us 89-82. VMI beats UTC 79-71. Remember, UNCG just beat UTC, right? A couple days before. Wofford over Citadel 95-86, which is crazy. ETSU over Mercer 77-71. And then Western in overtime beating Furman at Furman. I think that was Furman's first conference game in their new home. No, Mercer lost to him at home. Okay.
Yep.
So unfortunately, Furman did win the first SoCon game in the new arena, but still, ETSU undefeated. But boys, outside of that, I mean, even with Citadel putting up 86, I said like 5 minutes ago that maybe VMI and Citadel were the two who had no prayer, but I don't know. Just running through those scores, it seems like everybody has a shot, which is kind of what everybody felt like going in. But as we always say every year, the non-conference season tells us nothing about the conference just because of how skewed it is in various directions. I mean, we played 2 or 3 D2 teams. Everybody played at least one, maybe. Everybody had an Arkansas type game in there. So I don't know. It's hard to judge, but it is wide open right now.
Yeah, especially the roster turnover we knew coming into the year. Basically, we talked about the 19 of 20 all conference guys from last year are gone, and the one who returned, Ricky Bradley's hurt. So, I mean, even throw that in for VMI. But yeah, it's anyone's game. Obviously, it's going to be a long season, only 2 games in. But again, it is winnable for a team to kind of step up. Even if it's not ETSU, it could be somebody else outside of Citadel, basically.
Mercer's sitting at 0-2, and they were probably towards the top of the projected power rankings before conference play started. So they had a
That's
tough Furman UTSU 1-2 to start the season, but they're not going to be
That's tough.
they're not going to be ninth in the league when the season's over. I can say that.
No, it honestly might look a lot like if you took Mercer out of the football season this year, it might look a lot like that, where everyone's 1 or 2 games separated. And frankly, this year there might not even be an outlier up at the top. I mean, ETSU maybe, but that'll make it fun. I mean, look, we already know that we're lost to UNCG on the road, but I think Western we play them on Wednesday when this episode drops. We play them at home. I think that's going to be an early early conference bellwether game for us. Like, all right, are we better than Western? Can we beat them at home? Because we go straight to chat on Saturday, and I know they just lost, but it's still UTC, So hopefully this team. We got 2 more games before we play Furman, the team we really want to beat. Wednesday at home, 6:00. Like, let's get it next week. So we got 2 games to get to that one. I think we can beat Western. Not sure about UTC. I mean, considering they just lost to VMI, they're going to be being practiced real hard. Because it's embarrassing. No offense to the Keydets, but it's embarrassing.
Yeah. Hey, it's tough when you're chat when you lose. Again, both on the road, but still UNCG and VMI, and then you come home to play Furman and Samford. It's like, oh, cool, we struggled with our easier road games. Here's 2, we think, kind of tougher home games, especially for a team like Chad who doesn't play defense. They're in the 300s, even worse than Samford when it comes to play defense. So it could be first to 90 when Chattanooga plays up there. But
hey, that's what I want to see. That's what I want to see.
In that
we're right behind them.
Yeah,
if they're 300, we're 299.
Samford, let's see. ETSU is top 142. Samford is 277 in the country. Chat 307th in defense, and then UNCG is 327. It gets worse. VMI 347th, and Citadel is 363rd in the country out of 365 teams.
I didn't think there were that many teams.
Yeah, out of 365, they're 300, and they're 358 in Ken Palm overall. So they're one of the worst teams in the country.
What's our Ken Palm after 2 games in the SoCon? 220?
Yeah, 230. Yeah, ETSU be 127. The next up be Furman 160. Actually, sorry, Mercer 160, Furman 165, and then Samford would be at 232 with Wofford just above them at 227.
And where's UTC?
UTC 265.
Oh my God, that's crazy. I mean, the conference has totally taken a step back this year. Because remember last year, the Ken Palms, we had probably 4 teams in the 100 to 170, 180, and now we have 2, and then a smattering in the 200s. That's crazy.
Yeah, last year the conference finished with 6 in the top 142. ETSU was 142. Then everyone else was in the 250s and below. It's crazy.
That's kind of
clearly
worrisome
been a
because
talent drop. I was just gonna say, there's clearly been a talent drop between last year and this year. But I mean,
could you imagine what our basketball team 2 years ago would do to this conference this year? It would be
absolutely.
It'd be illegal. They'd be in jail.
I say there's a talent drop.
Hey, even you go to
I was going to say USC and Michigan State are playing right now, and Brownell and Fort are combined 0-6 from the field. So maybe they're not that good. Maybe not that much of a talent drop.
No, there is a talent drop. And maybe it's one of those things where everyone's a little raw, I don't know. It just doesn't feel like there are as many guys who you could see transferring to the P4 next year.
Samford might have one in Faulkner.
Somebody always emerges. Like, I never would have guessed Brownell would have gone to a school like USC.
Yeah,
like, he was good, but he wasn't that good.
Yeah, that roster USC is like a bunch of big men and 2 guards. They try to go play with their coach who's 4'11" out there, but yeah.
But they're ranked, aren't they?
Not
they're.
Well, they shouldn't have been penalized.
Michigan.
That doesn't count. Michigan's like a god squad out there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that they might not. Let's see. Ken Palm has them going 29-2. Michigan
with an incredibly difficult schedule. Like, that's what's really crazy about that. I mean, God, yeah. They'll be. They're not like the Purdue Paper Tiger every year. Like, they're a legitimate threat to win the national championship.
Yeah, crazy.
But yeah, I don't know. The SoCon definitely took a step back. And, when we had SoCon John on the podcast, he talked about how kind of the trajectory of all the sports. I think baseball may be the one that's hanging on, softball may be on the rise, actually. But for football and basketball, there have been steps back. And I don't really know how to explain that because it's not like NIL started this year, right? I think it's safe to say that UTC is, in fact, not spending $5 million on their NIL initiative.
That's last year's
whatever rumor that was, I think we can say that that's not true. And if it is, that is a terrible mismanagement of funds.
How far do you think we are from bottoming out?
It feels like you can't really get lower.
Like, I feel like some of these stars are going to come alive now that SoCon play has started. But
well, that's the fun thing is we have two guys who could be the stars.
Well, I just think not Samford, but the SoCon in general. Like, how much worse can the SoCon get in the new NIL transfer portal era before it kind of levels out and we know the new norm?
It all depends on what the schools want to spend. We can go as low as we want to go if we don't want to spend any money. But I'm going to take this year as kind of a blip where we're rebuilding. People like schools at our level are still figuring out exactly how to play the portal, exactly who to recruit and retain out of the portal. Basketball, you just feel a little bit more because the turnover is so much greater. Yeah. So we'll see. I think there's still time to tell, but I don't know if we're at the bottom. We're certainly not at the top. We're not anywhere close to our ceiling. I think we could rebound to where we were supposed to be if NIL did not exist. Like the SoCon was headed in an awesome direction, basketball wise. So I don't think that's out of the question. We got big schools, plenty of money in the conference. It's a matter of whether they want to spend that money to get these kids, because it would not be shocking if, like in football, we see the UAC and who I can't remember the conference off the top of my head doing like basically a partnership as that conference was exiting football to allow those schools who want to spend that money. Like it wouldn't shock me if something like that developed on the basketball side, where you have like an ASUN and an OVC come together and be like, hey, we're going to create a basketball only alliance here where all the schools who don't really want to spend money on basketball can leave, but we're going to pour money into basketball and they can ditch their football programs. We're going to have a conference full of UNCGs, but they're guaranteed to spend $2 million of their $5 million of revenue on the roster. Like that, I could see that happening. And that would be a threat to the SoCon, but that hasn't happened yet, at least as far as I know.
Yeah, it's basically what the ASUN's trying to do, just go all in on basketball and get a bunch of schools that don't play football, and which is where UNCG comes in if they did make that move. But yeah, it's basically ASUN's doing the same thing. We're just going to go basketball and forget about everything else.
Yeah. And, that is a recipe that could leave the SoCon in the dust relatively. I mean, they're still not going to be anywhere close to even a Conference USA or Sun Belt for that matter. So we'll see. I don't know. There's so many schools. I think we'll be all right, conference wise.
365 of them, according to Game.
That is wild.
Yeah, and then you throw Tennessee Tech into the SoCon mix too, joining next year with a conference paid 11 teams, 11 basketball, 10 football. So
yeah. I think that's going to end up being a good move. I know when Beck was talking about it, he was pretty excited and surprised at some of the metrics Tennessee Tech came back with. But I was talking to, funny enough, a Tennessee Tech grad over the weekend. And apparently they've like redone their football stadium. They're kind of re-energizing the alumni base. Mike, I don't know if you knew this. For a while, they still may be the only public, maybe MTSU, but only public Tennessee engineering program.
Makes sense. I know a bunch. My dad went there and he's an engineer. So
there we go.
My new neighbor went there. He's an engineering guy. His best friend went there. Most engineers
here's the deal.
I know went to either Tennessee or Tennessee Tech.
Yeah, and I don't know a lot of homeless engineers. So, there's some money that Tennessee Tech could tap into. Yeah,
it is a good school, though, because I think Eric was maybe talking about this. He thought that Tennessee Tech wouldn't meet the academic metrics to get in that we needed for the SoCon, but he was shocked at. I think you're saying that, Sam. He was shocked at. But it's a good school, so especially because it's a
sleeper
engineering majors.
Exactly, and that's what I didn't realize.
Yeah.
No. And they needed to redo that stadium. It's why the state championship left Cookeville. But apparently now it's pretty sweet. And once they focus on basketball, maybe they could be. I mean, we don't need too many good teams. I wouldn't mind another VMI or Citadel. But no, it seems like a great addition. And yeah, the engineering thing, didn't know that. That's their secret sauce. In fact, it wouldn't shock me if they had stronger academic marks than MTSU, which is a giant school. I think that's the largest school in Tennessee.
For sure.
So,
I think,
okay, well, don't say it like that.
I think Tennessee Tech is like a good. Nobody thinks of it. It's like a good school.
Yeah.
I mean, you take away
I don't know
Tennessee and Vanderbilt and like other. Well, Vanderbilt's not public, but I don't know that there are.
No, Vandy doesn't count.
Schools in Tennessee.
No, because I mean, UTC is starting to come into its own. Forever, it was just a good university if you wanted to stay in Chattanooga. But it's starting to be a little bit more regional. And I think that's mainly through the business school that they've really put a lot of time and effort into. And part of that's the Chattanooga economy. But yeah, no. Tennessee Tech, we'll see. Hopefully they get their basketball team. What is the basketball team doing this year? Do we know?
I just had it pulled up. They're 6-9 so far in the Ohio Valley. John Pelfrey is their head coach. He's been there a while. He was the coach at Arkansas back in the early 2010s, but he's been there since COVID season.
I didn't realize he was still there.
Yeah. Wouldn't be shocked at a regime change.
Yeah. They might have a new coach considering they haven't been above 500.
Yeah, he's like a tall, lanky guy. I guess he's a basketball coach.
So he's tall, lanky. I thought you said colicky.
Yeah, he hasn't been over 5.
I was like, wow, that's specific. I don't even know what that looks like.
Once, so yeah, he might not be coaching Tennessee Tech when they come to Samford next year. I'll just say that.
No, it sounds like it's primed for a new coach, new regime heading into the new conference.
Yeah, they hit on football. Tennessee Tech did.
Tennessee.
Anyway,
Samford goes there on September 12th, second week of the year. So there you go.
Yeah, we're not to football quite yet, Grant. On to women's basketball. So we wrapped up non-con play against Fisk. I think we played. Do we play Fisk every year?
Probably, yeah.
I think it feels like we do. Beat them 70-54. Got drubbed right after Christmas. I mean, my God, by Mississippi State, 112-54 on the road. Got beat pretty handily by UAB as well, 65-49 right before Christmas. But did beat Lipscomb. The week before Christmas, 65-59. I think that was the last time we gave an update as far as women's basketball on the podcast. But we start conference play this week on Thursday. Back-to-back road games. The women's schedule basically doing as many favors as the men's schedule gave us, which is 0. On the road in UNCG Thursday, and then on the road at Western on Saturday. So pretty tough there, especially night game on Thursday, afternoon game on Saturday. Not a huge amount of turnaround. But then we do get a week off before heading to the glorious city of Macon, Georgia. A city on a hill, as some say it, and by some I mean no one. And then our first home game. So 3 road games to start conference play. First home game doesn't come till January 22nd against Wofford. So the women are going to get used to that bus for a couple of weeks. But we'll see. I mean, hopefully there's a little bit of confidence boost with Fisk, but honestly not expecting a whole heck of a lot from the women in conference play. But we have some young players that could possibly turn the season into an interesting one. On the men's side, schedule-wise, we just mentioned Western, UTC, our next 2 games, Wednesday, Saturday, before Furman next week on Wednesday. Any predictions for our Western chat? I mean, Grant, based off the 300 defense metric or whatever that you gave chat, I feel so much better about that. Like, we're going to put up 100, they're going to put up 98, and we're going to win. And we're going to miss 30 free throws along the way, but they're not going to be able to stop the 3 ball. Faulkner goes for 30, Booth goes for 30, and then someone else goes for 20. That's what I'm feeling.
Boom.
Easy.
Yeah, last year I went up there. That was a game too. Samford's down like 13 at half. I was up there for that one. They came roaring back to win that one. That's kind of the big ones of the year. But you got to stretch Western Chattanooga, and then it's time to get real with that next week. We'll get into it next week, but Furman, ETSU back-to-back, that's kind of
and Wofford on the road. Like, it's a tough 3-game stretch right there before we get the cupcake UTC again. on that Saturday. It would be, it would be awesome if UTC actually sucks. Like, it would be awesome. Speaking of, would that be, Danner will be on the hot seat, no? I mean, they have not won. They won the conference once when they haven't won the conference yet.
Not the tournament
with him.
I think they maybe.
That's right. That's what I mean.
Regular season with.
Yeah. I know, Sam. You're talking about the NIT 2025 champions of last year. So
I honestly forgot that, and that's how little the NIT matters. Maybe which is another reason why we don't need a group of 5 football playoff. But that's an aside.
Yeah, Mike, that's a good point. NIT hangover.
They just can't. Yeah.
NIT
I totally forgot they won the NIT. I was cheering against them every single game.
And they found a way to win every one somehow. So they're in overtime to start the tournament. It's Milton. We were watching Allen.
That's right.
They went to overtime in the final to play UC Irvine. Like, they had some games where
didn't they have to go up to Dayton? Didn't they have to go to Ohio?
They did, yeah. They played. Yeah, it was a stretch. Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully UTC sucks. Yeah, you're right. Dan Earl's certainly not on the hot seat with the NIT championship banner. I mean, my God, they're probably milking that as much as possible.
Yeah, Trey Bonham, Hunter Huff aren't working out on that floor on Saturday, but
I would say it's like milking a bull. Not that much milk, but hey, who knows?
We can go 2-0. Yeah, I think we go 2-0.
Mike's like, what are you saying?
I've never heard that one.
That's a new one. Okay. I'm going to work it into the rotation. Yeah. I'll use it in a meeting. We'll see how it goes.
With an older crowd. Yes, yeah.
We'll see how it plays. All right, what are y'all thinking, Western UTC? Are we going 2-0 this week, boys?
I don't know. 1-1 feels safer because I just don't know that we're consistent enough to go 2-2 at any stretch of the season unless we're playing VMI.
Of course we're not. Yeah. Of course we're not consistent.
Yeah, Ken Palm has Western as a 5-point win or 5-point spread, I guess, the other way to put it. And then Chat would be a 1-possession game, it says. So it could be either or. See how Western comes off again. They just beat Furman at Furman, even though Furman didn't have Cooper Bowser that game.
And they went to overtime, so it's not like they drubbed them or anything.
Yeah, exactly. No. You better go 1-1 with that stretch we just mentioned. From even the rest of the month, it's pretty intense, which we've talked about it, but
yeah,
I know that's the thing.
TSU Wofford's
it lightens up at the end, but it's a tough. After this, it's a tough middle stretch. So we're 1-1 right now. It'd be awesome if we were 4-1 heading into the Furman game because we're going to drop at least 4 or 5 more games. Like that feels like, and that could still get you a 1 or 2 seed in the tournament, which is kind of crazy. Just based on how it's played out for the first week. But 1-1 does feel safe, Mike. But I think, look, if we just, I don't know. Look, I'm not a basketball coach. I don't know how you play better on defense. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I can tell you how to play better.
You got to move your feet, right? That's what all the old dad knows. It's like the only, it's like, move your feet.
Move your feet. So if we can shuffle our feet a little bit faster. Hands up.
We're going to work on closeout drills at practice tomorrow. Close. Yeah, we're going to work on that.
It does seem like if we can get a little bit better defense, that will, make it even stronger, the fact that we have a dynamic scoring duo in Faulkner and Booth. But more importantly, it will open up more fast break opportunities for other guys to get into a groove. And maybe your third, fourth scorer can find some more consistency, right? It seems like the free throw line aside, it seems like it all hinges on improving on defense. If the more we improve on defense from this day on, and let's track that. So what are we at, Grant? 240 in the nation?
277.
Yeah. 277. I am willing to bet if we can break the 200, get into the 190s to 210s and maintain this level of offense, which is not like lighting the world on fire, but it's pretty good. It's decent. That will get us in a solid spot in the conference. If we don't improve, then we're just going to be living and dying by the 3-ball and the free throw, which, as we said at the beginning of the podcast, we're 0-1 in that struggle against a real team. So,
Sam, I don't think the term fast break is on this team's dictionary. Unless Isaiah Campbell finishes on the floor, I don't think we've had anybody fast enough to
jog. How about slow break. I don't know. Just an opportunity where the defense isn't completely set. Let's put it that way.
Sam, what was that kind of defensive number you threw out, like 190 to 2?
If we could get between 190 and 210, I'll even say 220. If we can improve 50 points, 50 teams, because like what I'm imagining right now, we give up 85 points a game, and that's good for 270th. And I bet 220th is 82 points a game. Like,
and that's
it's not a huge
points
margin.
Per 100 possession, or is it points per game?
Like, what is the spread, Grant?
That is a good question. I was just looking at under Bucky, the best we finished defensively. Again, the tournament year is going to line up with that 122. The worst we finished non-COVID year was 20. Actually, it was 2022 was 247. So kind of, and then 213 last year. So again, that is kind of a good barometer where we've seen kind of the past 190 to 200.
That's would just based on points per 100.
That was just straight defensive numbers. I'm just going to points per game. Let's see, Samford 77 defensively.
Mike, I think it's like a efficiency metric. Like, I don't think it's one singular stat.
Yeah, I can go find it for next week. We can roll that out.
Yeah, we can dig into that a little bit.
Yeah, I check one more site.
I love Dylan Booth's like little mohawk on his ESPN profile picture. Have y'all noticed that?
Mm-mm. He has a mohawk?
Fun. Yeah. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome. Dude, look. That is some 2004 stuff right there with the hair gel. Remember what? Golly.
Oh, the hair gel, man. The spikes.
The hair gel, dude. Spikes. Yo.
Yeah,
thick.
Here we go. Yeah. Team defensive efficiency rating, Samford is, according to Evan Maya, per 100 possessions, it's minus 3.3 points per possession, I want to say. Which that might not be accurate.
So
that's just the defensive rate that he throws out. I need to go dive into.
Wait, so Grant, does that mean when we're on defense, we're expected to give up 3 points every play?
Hi, this says the number could be interpreted as the defensive points per 100 possessions better than average expected. Okay, it's not literal points. It's just
it's 3 points less than the average.
There you go. Yeah, 3.3.
Or in the defensive perspective, 3 points more than the average.
Correct. However, each team is higher rating would be better. ETSU is the only one in the positive right now. So
okay, so Evan probably has us around the 200s because if average is 150, so it's 300 something teams. We're in the 240s because if the average is 180, I'm imagining every point is probably 20 teams, 30 teams maybe. Because who's like, what's the best defensive team? Plus 15?
Yeah, probably. He's got us overall team wise.
I'm just guessing at all this. I haven't seen any.
Team wise, he's got us at 220.
I'm just a data scientist out here, you know.
Ken Palm 233, Evan Maya 220. Yeah.
Okay. There's hope, boys. I think there's hope. I mean, look, when you have two scores like Faulkner and Booth, there's always hope. I think I would rather have this situation than what ETSU had when they played us in the conference tournament finals, where they didn't have necessarily a great go-to scorer. I'm blanking on the guy's name. Obviously, he was the best basketball player on the court, but he wasn't like, oh, I'm going to go get you 30 points tonight type of player. But they had incredible defense, incredible athleticism. We got two guys who are going to put up close to 60 points every night.
I don't know. I think I'd rather be the ETSU team because you've like defense is consistent as long as the
defense is easier to improve upon. Think about Bucky's teams. We played when we had really good defense. We weren't like the biggest, strongest, but we played the hardest. So I think you can you can coach a guy to play harder. I don't know if you can coach a guy to shoot it better. That just kind of is what it is.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying. It just feels easier to improve defensively. It could be completely opposite, like football, where offense is so much easier than defense.
Yeah, and Bucky's teams usually had turnover luck to kind of rely on too, where they were.
We also turned it over a lot.
Exactly, that's where the luck.
Yeah, the pace of play was much more hectic, which benefited and did not benefit.
It's like the football equivalent of a red zone defense. We could give up touchdown. We just spin the wheel. Maybe we'll give up a touchdown, or maybe we'll give up a field goal. It's mainly going to be a touchdown.
Don't break.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the fact that the UNCG game only had 8 total turnovers is wild. I mean, there were times where we would have 8 turnovers in 10 minutes under Bucky. Like it just
8 consecutive turnovers.
And then we'd force 8 consecutive turnovers. Like it just
exactly.
Very different.
It was
styles.
Never boring, and Bucky would always say that, but it was never. He was so right. It's never boring.
He's not wrong.
No,
we took that same approach down to College Station because they had a game where they had to fight back and forth too, where they had to force some turnovers late, won by 3 over LSU. I did have a little laugh. Josh Holloway played 9 minutes, had 3 turnovers. Like I'd love to have him, but that just made me laugh the way that turned out. But
Paul, don't lie.
Let's see.
Good win though against LSU.
Yeah, exactly. Here you go. A&M turned it over 15 times, but forced 16 turnovers. So that's still rolling.
I love it. All right, boys. Anything else? Exciting basketball slate ahead, but any final notes?
Just waiting on football coaching staff to kind of.
It's just getting more elite every night.
If they could figure the roles for everybody out, so that just doesn't have assistant coach under the website, that'd be great too. If we could actually have guys that, although we do know for the most part what everybody's going to be, but
they're just out there portaling right now. We don't care about titles. We just need some grinders on the film. We need to bring in some dogs because we've had, I think, based on some Twitter activity, we've had a couple of offers. But I mean, everything's still waiting to be sorted out as the big dogs pick who they want. And then everyone else to find a home.
Yeah, and it's not official, but Twitter bio, Mickey Kahn will be Samford's DC. He was Clemson's safeties coach the last few years.
It's a big hire.
He was scheduled to make $1 million next year at Clemson before he got fired. So it's like it's amazing he's coming over to Samford. I'm sure Clemson.
I'm so sorry, buddy. I'm
sure Clemson will mitigate whatever he's getting paid here compared to what he was getting paid. So yeah, that's why he can make the move rather than go find position coach job elsewhere.
How does a cornerback coach make $1 million?
He made $950K this year, and he was going to make $1 million next year. Dude,
the tight end coach at Oklahoma was making $900,000, and they had to convert a linebacker to be the starting tight end. The guy wasn't even doing his job, and he was making $1 million.
I would have thought
he was the best
to 5.
The best tight end.
Wow,
that was what it used to be.
Well, he better be one heck of a defensive coordinator, which would be nice because we haven't had that in a long time.
Well, we were getting him for free, essentially.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, he was a defensive coordinator, but Blake Baker for LSU made $2.5 million. He's going to make $3 million next year as Lane's DC. Like that's I had to not be head coach and make $3 million.
They're going to need it without a quarterback. Looks like Kentucky may be battling for Sam Levitt at this point with them, which would be very spicy.
Yeah, here you go. Matt Luke, Clemson's offensive line coach, made $975K last year.
Wasn't he the interim coach at Clemson?
He was a head coach.
He was
at Ole Miss, right?
He took over for.
That guy's been around.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, and then he was the OC for Kirby for a year, and now
he's just kind of mid, but that's okay. Wait, he's not coming to Samford though, is he?
No, I'm just going down the list of guys and how much money. I go down position coach, how much money they made. Yeah,
he could recruit Mississippi for us.
Yeah, here's Joe John right along with Kahn making $900K last year.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that's highway robbery. So no, I mean our staff. And you texted us Michael Pierce is our D-line coach.
Potentially, yeah. I've reached out to see if that's actually possible. I'll take him at his word. Obviously, I'm not going to tell him no.
I mean, even if he's just like chipping in
I don't care.
As a volunteer, it's awesome.
Yeah, exactly. If he says he's a D-line coach, well, damn it, he is the D-line coach. I'm not going to cross him.
Put him on the D-line for practice because our offensive line can really use the experience.
Yeah, under his account, he did follow me back. Says the current Samford University interior D-line coach. So if Mr. Pierce says he's the interior guy,
if that
coach, he's the D-line
guys,
coach.
we literally have a Hall of Fame named staff and a Hall of Fame staff. Like if this is the case, like that's crazy.
Yeah, all these like Clemson fans. All these Clemson fans might mention, oh, you guys are doing the son of a famous coach and the nepotism thing. I was like, dude, we went 1-11 last year. I do not care what it looks like. I don't care who they know, whose dad is who. I just want them.
Hey, Auburn basketball is teaching us all about nepotism right now. Teaching us all about nepotism. Yeah, I mean, for the record, I'm very anti-nepotism. But Samford is a private university. We do not have taxpayer funds. So if we want to misuse our funds by hiring unqualified people, that's our prerogative. It is not a state institution's prerogative. So just saying.
So serious, Sam.
So Mike, in your next
I know. I'm sorry. For whatever reason, it's something that irks me, but whatever.
Yeah, in our next lives, we're going to be college football position coaches. That's what we're going to do. Then we get fired.
Heck yeah, and they get fired. Yeah, we become position coaches, get fired, go work at a much more fun place to work, and get paid by our old employer.
I wish the real world was like that, you know?
It'd be awesome if the real world. I mean, at a certain level, Mike, you do sign contracts like that. I'm not at that level. I'm an at-will employee.
Maybe if you work in like big tech.
I'll be at-will for a long time.
Tennessee's an at-will state, so
tough out there. Anyway, final thoughts on basketball.
We're
major.
Yeah, we're not doing those U up T-shirts anymore. We go 1-1. We got to keep winning to keep doing those.
We'll be fine. We'll be fine. Look, we have good players. They'll figure it out.
See, how many games in a row did we lose last year? But we'll be fine. See, we never lost more than 2 in a row last year. We're fine. It's okay. Samford basketball is not the pre-COVID era.
It's interesting. I think last year, this could be so ignorant, but I do think last year's Bucky team would have played really well with A-Cuff style. Like, it wasn't necessarily a great Bucky style team, but
yeah, I could see
it feels like A-Cuff.
The Rylan and Allen Spot duo.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Speaking of Rylan, he played in the
threes.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Saw Rylan played in the Texas A&M managers game. Like the managers do like a game. I said that's a little unfair to have a guy.
It's so unfair.
He dropped 34, like the tweet said from Luke from Texas. I said he dropped 34. I said, well, yeah, he should have dropped 34. He's playing man.
Only 34.
So I know Bucky has like 1,200 people on his staff. I mean, like, can't there be other guys that could play? So
there's some guys on that.
Played 6 years of college basketball to play.
There were some guys on that court who had never played competitive basketball in their lives, guaranteed. And you got Rylan Jones just dicing them up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we got a lot of basketball this week. We are in the heart of conference play. We will keep everybody updated on portal activity from the football team, but I wouldn't expect really anything to shake out for several more weeks there. But yeah, State of the Bulldogs is out. Let's hope for 2-0 before the big game against Furman next week. UTC and Western up next. See what happens. Go Dogs.